Okay, this video is going to walk you through uploading files from an AudioMoth to Arbimon. Here is an AudioMoth, and this has been deployed for a little while. It was in this waterproof case, and there are other videos that can walk you through how to deploy one. Once you collect it from the field, you're going to want to turn the AudioMoth off. And then bring it back in. You're going to want to get the files saved. If you want to use Arbimon, there are a few steps. I recommend that always you save your AudioMoth original files or the files that are on the SD card to a hard drive and to a cloud, or at least in one additional place other than just to Arbimon. And so once you've done that, go ahead and upload to Arbimon. I'm going to show you, walk you through the steps. So here is an AudioMoth, an Arbimon site. And this one is one for Evergreen's Campus Forest. Let's go back to sites here so you can actually see how we get here from Arbimon. So you have to have an Arbimon account. You have to create a project in Arbimon. But once you do that, you can navigate to your project. This one is focused on the Evergreen State College Campus Forest. And you can, the home page of your project will show you if you have any sites. If you're just starting a project, the first step to getting files on will be to create a site. Here we have some sites indicated by these dots, and the size of the dots has to do with how many recordings there are. We have a few locations here that don't yet have any recordings. I have some files on this AudioMoth that I want to get onto this project, and so the first thing I need to do is make sure I have a site. And so to create a site, I go to the left menu bar, select Sites, select Create, and I'm going to just name this one Example. And then the latitude, I'm going to select some default latitudes that would be nearby. Okay, elevation in this area is around 64 meters or so. So if I save this, there is my example site. So we're going to upload some files to this example site. So that's the first step. The second step is to import. So if you go over to the left menu bar and you select import, you'll get the option of using a downloader, or I think you can only use a downloader now. And so you pick your operating system. I have Windows, so I'm going to download the downloader for Windows. Once you download, click download, it will download to your default download spot. I have it downloaded here in my downloads folder in a subfolder. And so after that, it's just a matter of opening the file. And once the uploader opens, you can begin the process. Okay, and so the uploader has opened. I've already uploaded some files, so it gives you a file history. But in this case, there's a few files I want to upload to my new site. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my SD card out of my AudioMoth. Make sure it's turned off. And then I'm going to put it into my SD card reader. Make sure it's there. Yeah, I have a file there that I want to upload. And so I select Import Files on the uploader. And you can choose an entire folder of files if you want. Or in this case, since we only have one file we want to upload, I'm going to just choose that file. I'm going to select Open. And then Next. You're going to then choose your project. You may just have one project or type in the name or search for your project. And then this site name is example. And so it doesn't hurt to double check and make sure it looks like your site's in roughly the right location. I can zoom in closer. Yep, this looks like it was where it was at. So it's actually important in this process to make sure you're being careful with this. And then you select import. Once you've selected import, you're not done. So you'll see that there's these three viewers at the top. And right now we're in the preparing viewer. And so the file is preparing to be downloaded. Once you're able to, or uploaded, once you're able to select this green start upload button in the upper right, the process should start. And so now we are in the queued folder or the queued viewer. And now we've all of a sudden gone to the uploaded viewer. And so once it's uploaded, it should shortly be available on Arbimon. You'll notice here, it says that the file is verified. So it's in the works. When the file is actually marked as completed, then you will know it has uploaded to your site. And this sometimes can take a little bit of time. Another thing to know that if your file is longer than 1 minute, it will be broken up into multiple 1-minute files. So I often do 10-minute files. And so if I upload one of these 10-minute files to the uploader, to Arbimon, I will end up with 10 files. And they all have a unique name to them. But I can see that they're all part of this 10-minute file. Okay, now my recording is now listed as completed. So I'm going to go back into Arbimon and just double check that. So I'm going to go into actually sites, but you can also go into recordings to look for this. But I have sites and I have the site that says example, and it's showing me there is one recording. And if I want to go to that recording, I can go into recordings and it will be the first one to show because it's the most recently added file. And I can actually see it in my viewer. Okay. And so that's how you upload a file to Arbimon. From there, you can then use a lot of Arbimon's tools to annotate the files, to generate playlists, to make templates, and do analyses like pattern matching analysis.